Hello, everyone. Welcome to our new episode on the series of opportunities after CA. Today, we have a CA cohort of Flipkart who recently joined Flipkart and are from the batch of November 20. I would introduce them. We have Dinesh Krishna, who has completed his chartered accountancy course in November 20 and has done his articleship from Deloitte. We have Daarshinee, who has secured All India Rank 15 CA final and who is a professional Bharatanatyam dancer and also done her articleship in a mid-sized firm from Chennai. We have Priyal Choudhary, who is a double ranker. She secured All India Rank 34 in final and All India Rank 25 in IPCC. She has also cleared CFL level 2 and done her articleship in a mid-sized firm from Ahmedabad. And we have our very own Anirudh Ramesh, who has secured All India Rank 28 in CA final and has done his graduation from Christ University and is a founder member of this channel. So I welcome you all. How are you all? Good?
Yeah, we're good. How are you doing?
Good, I'm good. So yeah, so we have various agenda which we need to cover today, and the first of it, how do you apply at Flipkart? How to apply at Flipkart? So Priyal, would you take this?
Yeah. So the best thing about Flipkart is that it's a campus recruitment, so you don't have to juggle, and you don't have to look around about various vacancies available. So usually Flipkart comes into campus, and even if it's a special campus, it comes to special campus also and in the normal campus as well. So in our attempt, we had Flipkart in this normal campus where I had applied, and luckily I was lucky enough to get shortlisted.
Perfect. All of them, I think, have got through campus placement.
Sure. So there's one thing I'd like to add here. It's that Flipkart comes only to the Bangalore and Mumbai campuses.
Okay.
So people who want to apply should either apply for any of these two campuses.
Understood. So while when you're entering the campus placement form, you have an option to select the city from which you have to apply, city like tier 1 city and tier 2 city. So in tier 1 city, either you should select Bangalore or Mumbai to have an opportunity that first Flipkart shortlist you, and then you will select Flipkart as your company. Am I right?
Yes.
Right, actually. Yeah, so actually I had applied for Chennai campus, but then so I couldn't apply for Flipkart, but apparently I got the mail ID of HR from someone who had attended from Bangalore campus, and then I mailed HR my resume. So they actually called for interview. I was lucky enough, but generally they go only to Mumbai and Bangalore campus.
Understood. So yeah, we can conclude that it comes to campus placement and generally at Bangalore and Mumbai. Apart from that, we have a panelist who got into Flipkart without applying through campus. She also got in through off-campus placement. So yeah, the second question would be, what are the prerequisites to get into Flipkart? Apart from being a chartered accountant, is there any necessary? Is rank a prerequisite? Is Big Four a prerequisite or anything? I would give the chance to Dinesh.
Yeah, so unlike a few companies which require rankers only, I don't think Flipkart has a condition because I'm not a ranker. I also don't think they specifically require people to have done articleship in a Big Four because there are a few people who have done articleship in mid-size. So they don't have that sort of prerequisites, at least from the campus hires point of view.
Understood. So any other points to add on, or is that it?
So I personally felt that they recruit a diverse set of people across rankers, non-rankers, Big Four, non-Big Four, graduate, or a correspondence course itself. So they don't discriminate based on all of these. So which is probably why being a startup itself, right? They are open and welcome to take a very diverse set.
Understood.
And also, to add one more thing, so they do not even discriminate pay-wise. Like, there are companies which give sort of a bonus to the rank holders, but Flipkart does not have any sort of these issues.
Understood. what we can make out of this is that there is no specific prerequisite for a rank or a big four. You can get in, you can apply, and if you get shortlisted, you can get into Flipkart as well. So yeah, so my next question is, what is the recruitment process like, Priyal?
Yeah, so basically, once you get shortlisted, you first have the group discussion, and from there, whoever, like, they don't have any specific standards, but whoever they feel is like most contributing to the discussion, they are selected for the next round. Then you have the technical round, and thereafter, if you get shortlisted, you have HR rounds, and then last is like an onboarding process. So basically, it's a group discussion, then a technical round, and then an HR round.
Understood. Any other points to add on this?
Yeah, so I'd
Yeah.
probably talk about the group discussion that I had itself, which is the topic that I was involved with was electric vehicles in India. So Flipkart, what they did was the topics that were mostly in the group discussion were closely related to Flipkart itself, is what I felt. In terms of electric vehicles mobility, they were trying to make their fleet, the delivery fleet, mostly electric vehicles. So they tried getting those kind of topics. So for group discussions in such companies, it's important to understand what the company does before you apply for the recruitment process itself. Even in the PA round, what I personally felt was if I was able to connect with something that they did, that what Flipkart did. For example, in articleship, I'd done a fundraising, which is raising funds from external parties, and Flipkart is going for an IPO soon. So I was able to connect with them on this level where I could tell them that I've done something in articleship which I can bring forward to the table and which might help both me and you as an organization grow. So it's very important to find that connect, I feel, while applying to any company and specifically Flipkart.
Understood. Yeah. So we know that Flipkart is a unicorn and it's going to get listed soon. So just wanted to confirm whether all of you guys got a GD, which was on the topic, on the topic which is there out, or like a current affairs topic or something like that, or some of you also got topic which are abstract topics or something like that.
So my topic is like more related to the e-commerce industry. So because Flipkart is an e-commerce industry, so they do not obviously look into the intricacies, but you should be aware of what's going on in the e-commerce industry.
Understood. Darshini?
Yeah, so since I had applied off campus, I didn't have GD, but instead of that, I had 2 technical rounds and then a HR round.
Understood. And Dinesh?
Yeah, I think I had a topic which was relevant to the current scenarios. It was regarding the role of e-learning right now and if they could replace schools and colleges, which I felt was relevant considering the COVID situation. So, yes.
Understood. So yeah, my next question is, how do you prepare for GD and PI for Flipkart? Because as you told, it was mostly the business related or business model related. So yeah, Anirudh, can you tell us how did you prepare?
Sure. So there was actually nothing specific I did for Flipkart's preparation because it's technically a startup still. It's a very big startup, but I felt like the people who startups recruit, right? They just want you to be very confident because they feel they can instill whatever they want in you when you start working itself. There's no prerequisite that you have to know so many X number of things or Y number of things. So there was actually no specific preparation. All I did was look up and research on what Flipkart does, any new schemes they've done or entered into, their group companies, for example, Myntra, PhonePe, for example, and also prepared on, so I actually basically prepared for that specific GD topic I got the previous day because I read about how electric vehicles, Flipkart is getting into that. So overall, just be very, very confident because they just want you to, be very confident ultimately. So to just sum it up, no specific preparation, just read about the company itself and what it does.
Understood. Any other points you want to add? Darshini, Dinesh?
Yeah, so I would like to add one more thing. So in my personal interview, they also ask a lot of like strategic questions, like like in an e-commerce industry, how do you think you can reduce returns or improve user base? So they're like more of abstract, but more of strategic questions. So maybe you can do a little bit of research, and so basically they just take your like on the spot what are your business nuances.
Understood. So how did you prepare for it? You also
No, I didn't prepare. That was like more of on the spot, but just that the next batch can be a little more proactive in this.
Dinesh, you were saying something?
Yeah, actually, one thing which I felt was relevant to the group discussion was that I think if it's not a particular current affair topic or something which you have to have prior knowledge about, one of the most important things in GD which they probably assess you on is how do you conduct yourself in amongst your peers. And it's not only about giving, being in a hurry to get your point, and it's also about receiving points and giving the chance to other people to talk. So I felt that was also pretty important to be aware of before you go into a GD.
Understood. Darshini?
Yeah, like Anirudh said, it's really important to know about the company well, what they are into, and what are their future plans. Also, their values as well. So, in my personal experience, apart from technical questions, there were a lot of HR questions, and they weren't those standard HR questions, but something different, like what is success according to you? What do you think is a perfect job? So many of such questions were asked to me.
So unique. Everyone has, unique set of questions which they were asked, and that is the reason, when the viewers would watch this, they would be prepared. Okay, when they go for the interview, they don't have a preconceived notion. Okay, so GD is going to be on this, or technical questions would be for basically from your resume. It could be strategic, or HR questions would be, tell me about yourself, or what are your strengths and weakness. It could be different, what is a perfect job and all that stuff. So that's very good. Yeah, so I would.
This Abhijit, there's one thing that I'd like to add here. So I felt like a lot of us, I had a 20-minute interview for the technical round, right? A lot of people had 1 hour long interviews for 2 rounds each. So it actually varied a lot between the people who gave the interviews itself. So you can't go in with a notion that it's a very short interview or it will be a long interview. It varies according to the person itself.
Understood. So even if you gave for 20 minutes, you still got an offer. So it does not mean that okay, यार, मेरा 20 मिनट का ही हुआ, मुझे job नहीं आएगा. So that's not the
Exactly.
case. Understood. So I think my next question would be, why Flipkart? I'm sure you must have got other offer, along with Flipkart, and you would be overwhelmed when you got a Flipkart offer. So
Sure. So the first, I just have two reasons. One is I didn't know what I wanted to do, and this seemed like a very good opportunity. So that's why I took it up. Secondly, I felt like working in a startup exposes me to a wide range of people who are also within my age group itself, because people in Flipkart are of the younger age groups. So I, be able to work with like-minded people who are very, very on the spot, who think on the spot. So I wasn't sure, and I'm glad I took this up to begin with.
okay, any other points you three want to add, or we can move on to next question? Yeah, Dinesh.
I felt personally, I felt that having done articleship in audit or tax, I think most of us would have had a pretty similar experience with respect to our articleship. Having done that from the audit or tax perspective, moving on to the other side of the spectrum, that is a business perspective, to gain more insights on how the business functions from within the business. I think that was something which I really wanted to do. And Flipkart was obviously one of the biggest startups, and getting the chance to interview with them, let alone being selected, was something which I really look forward.
Understood. Anything to add, Darshini, Priyal? Or
Yeah, like Anirudh said, even I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So Flipkart was a nice opportunity and I joined. Also, Flipkart has this option where after 1.5 years or something, we get to change our roles. In fact, Flipkart, they encourage us to do that. So in that way, I would be able to explore a lot of roles. So that was one of the important thing which I considered. And another thing, there is so much growth potential for Flipkart. So that is why I chose this company.
okay. So the next question would be, what are the different type of role that are offered to chartered accountants, and what is your role that you got offered, and how is it different from the other roles? Priyal?
Yeah, so basically within campus, we have three roles. So first is like the controllership role, then you have business finance, and you have business finance FP&A, which is more a financial planning and analysis. So these are the three roles which are offered to chartered accountants within the campus. And I have been into the business finance role. And so basically, this is a very different role from what usually CAs like from audit and tax and other mainstream jobs which we usually do. So basically, honestly, I don't have much of clarity as of now. It's been only a month, But what I infer from what my seniors have been doing, so it's more of a role wherein you have like annual operating plans wherein a specific profit margin is set for a particular like for a Flipkart or for a particular product like electronics or furniture, as the case may be, and all you have to do is to ensure that we meet those profit margins and to take decisions to bring these gaps into a better profitable scenario. That's it.
Understood. Understood. Dinesh?
Yeah, so as Priyal mentioned, those are the three roles which are offered within campus. And I've been selected as a controllership role. And within controllership itself, we have different departments. Within controllership, I have been allocated to a department called tax operations, which basically oversees the tax operations of all the Flipkart entities within the structure, group structure. So it includes entities in Singapore and US and in India primarily. So again, as Priyal said, I don't have too much clarity into the role as of now. I'm being slowly integrated towards my responsibilities, and right now it's just been me being involved in loads of calls and trying to come to terms with what I'm supposed to do.
Understood. So I understand that there are two roles, primarily which has been divided among you for like controllership and business finance, and like both of them are very unique and have their pre-decided set of roles. So my last agenda point was what is the last piece of advice you would want to give to all the aspirants who, or all the candidates who want to get into Flipkart, and even for the students who who might get motivated by by knowing that okay, our chartered accountants are also there in unicorn companies and startups, so there are a lot of opportunities for us. So any last piece of advice, Darshini?
Yeah, so whichever company you apply to, actually, basically during the interview process, you need to be confident and you need to be yourself. So you shouldn't fake or do anything of that sort. You need to be yourself, and always for interviews, be thorough about the company, their core values, and all of that. So that is it.
Okay, got it. Anirudh?
I think it's very important to know that it's okay for freshers to go into startups. You don't have to preset yourself that you have to go into big corporates or MNCs for that matter, or even consulting or IB. It's perfectly normal to go to a very big startup like Flipkart and then grow within it, because the exit opportunities you have from Flipkart or any startup for that matter is very big. So don't pigeonhole yourself and just be very open-minded.
Understood. Priyal, do you want to add something?
So all I just want to say is that, like Darshini said, be confident and be yourself, because, and also like you have already given your exams. So what they look for is not more of your technical skills, but the other skills like your communication and presentation skills. So with most your exams, probably you should start and improving them, because you have already given your exams, and that's like the best thing which you've done in your life.
I completely agree with Priyal's point. There is a preconceived notion that chartered accountants are not that good in communication or presenting themselves in the world. So what we can do is start going out and communicating with people, trying to improve our communication skills, presentation skills, and be presentable. That is it. And like a lot of people ask why is MBA preferred over chartered accountant, but see, we have live example. These four are at par at MBAs, and have got a really good package, and everything is set for them. Exit opportunities are great. Even if they stay in Flipkart in, like, I guess in a decade or something, they'll become directors or something. I'm sure you would see someone of these giving being in the board of directors, and taking investor calls or something like that someday or the other. So yeah, that is what I would like to say. Be yourself and never fake on your resume. So that is very important. Okay, don't fake on your resume that sugarcoat it, because they'll definitely ask you about that. So yeah, I agree with Priyal's point. Dinesh, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I think you covered it pretty much. I also wanted to just tell that could be just honest in the interview, and it's okay to sometimes say that you don't know something if they ask. I faced a similar situation in a Flipkart interview where they asked if I had any experience with a specific language Python. So I said I didn't have actually. So and they would be fine with it. So just don't bluff in it.
Just be yourself. That is what they want to have, want to convince. So yeah, thank you everyone for your time. It was great interacting with you, and I'm sure this would help a lot of people who would watch this.